Hey guys, Red Dot Shooters here. So, red dots versus scopes. Which is going to be best for your rifle? So if you're new to AR-15s and you're thinking about mounting an optic on your rifle, you might be debating whether or not to go with a red dot or a scope. And look, they're both great options. As you can see, I have both on the table here. But they also come with their own unique strengths and weaknesses. And it really depends on the primary purpose of your rifle. So today we're going to compare these two optics choices. And to do that, we're going to be looking at 4 different categories: speed, accuracy, weight, and reliability. And hopefully by the end of this video, you're going to have a clear idea of which optic is going to be best for your rifle. So let's jump into it, guys. Give me your full attention right now, because here we go. Alright, so the first category is speed, and the advantage here has to go to the red dot sight. Red dots are simply built for speed. When you look at the way they're designed, first of all, they don't have any eye relief. So your eye can really sit anywhere and still see clearly through the optic. They also usually have a very simple reticle that's going to be very visible because it's a bright red dot. Oh, and sometimes the reticle is actually designed to give you more speed, like the circle dot reticle in this holosun, which by the way is my favorite red dot. Link in the description below if you're interested. Red dots also don't have any magnification, which can be beneficial if you intend to shoot with both eyes open. Now on the other hand, scopes tend to be a little bit slower, and I think there are really 2 main factors that contribute to this. The first factor is that scopes require eye relief. So unless you put your eye at the correct distance away from the scope, you're going to have trouble seeing through the optic. And the second factor is magnification. In this video, we're really talking about scopes with a low setting of 1 power. The problem is, most scopes with a 1 power setting aren't truly 1 power. Oftentimes they're 1.1 or something along those lines. So using them with both eyes open may end up being a little tricky for you. But before moving on, I do want to say that you can be pretty fast with a scope of this type. Alright, so the next category is accuracy. Now obviously, a major part of being able to shoot accurately is seeing. And magnification allows you to see smaller at distance, so the advantage here has to go to the scope. Now this scope in particular is a primary arms 1:6, and you can imagine just how much easier it is to make a shot at say 200 yards on 6 power as opposed to being on 1. And with this scope in particular, it has something called the ACSS reticle, which basically shows you where you need to aim if your target's at 300 yards all the way up to 800 yards. Side note, this is my favorite low-end scope because that ACSS reticle is awesome. Link in the description below if you're interested. Now obviously, with no magnification, red dots are going to be at a disadvantage here, especially if you're like me and you don't have perfect eyesight. But before moving on here, I do have to mention that there are some amazing shooters out there who are really capable of stretching out the range of their red dots. Okay, so the third category is going to be weight. Now there are so many different brands of scopes and red dots that it's really hard to make these types of generalizations about them. So we'll just use my 2 examples here on the table to really show some of the differences. The holosun kind of represents the category of micro red dot sights, and the primary arms here represents the category of 1:6 powered scopes. This holosun weighs in at just over 4 ounces, and the primary arms 1:6 weighs about 16 ounces. So it's pretty obvious just by looking at the 2 which one is going to weigh less. And if you're looking to shave off a few ounces from your AR, a micro red dot sight is definitely the way to go. And last we have reliability. Once again, there are many different brands of optics out there, and they all have different price points and different degrees of reliability. However, just to generalize for the comparison, I'm going to give the edge in reliability to the scope. Reason why is simply because the reticle of the scope doesn't rely on batteries. And even though there are many red dots out there with amazing battery life, you still have the possibility of the battery going dead or some other type of problem with the electronics. Whereas with a scope, the reticle is etched into the glass. So even if your scope does use batteries to light up the reticle, it doesn't matter if they run out because you can still use the optic. But just to add on to that, one way to counteract reliability concerns with any optic is to mount backup iron sights on your rifle. And you can see I like to use these mag pulls because they work well and they're pretty affordable. So to bring everything to a close, here's my conclusion. If you intend on having a lightweight carbine that's fast into action and good from 0 to 100 yards, go with a red dot sight. But if you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of weight and a little bit of speed for more capability at distance, go with a low-powered variable scope. And if you want the best of both worlds, just be like me and get both. Now, whether you're looking for more speed or more accuracy, neither type of optic is going to automatically make you a better shooter. But if you're looking to improve your fundamentals, I have a free guide that shows you how to improve your shooting without leaving your home or spending a dime. It's a very simple exercise that I've used to improve my own shooting, and I still use it as practice today. So to get that, just go below in the description and hit the link, or type into your browser reddotShooters.com/trigger. Again, it's 100% free and it's a simple 7-step exercise. And be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more shooting tips and gear reviews.